Okay, well, everybody, we'd like to welcome you to Quilting Business Success podcast. Today is April 16th, and my name is Bobby Ware in tech support at Gamble.com, and I'm still filling in this role solo as Andrew has still been out on the road helping people on the road. So you're stuck with me again this week. Today we have a special treat of Traci Smith that is joining us, and I'm going to give a few people a chance to get on before we actually start talking. I just want to talk a little bit about the podcast. As most of you know, our target audience is people who are either thinking about starting a long arm quilting business or maybe are in the early stages of it, or or just want to eavesdrop and see what's going on. So yeah, we're going to start out. We have Traci Smith. Tracy, let's just start out by asking you, where are you located? Where's home for you?
I'm actually in Moline, Kansas, which is a very small town. I'm from Severy, Kansas, and it's even a smaller town. So,
okay, what kind of population you have there?
Moline's around 300, I think 321. I think is what it said the last time I looked it up.
300. Wow, that is a small town.
Yes.
Okay. So, did you live somewhere more populous prior to this, or?
Yeah, we lived in Wichita, which is like 60. It's an hour and a half from here. We lived there for 4 years. So long.
Okay, so to get a gauge of the town that you live in, it's probably not big enough for a Walmart, right?
Correct. We do not have a dollar store. We don't have a grocery store.
That was going to be my next question. Does it have a Dollar General? So
nope.
If you have no Dollar General, you're out in that's a podunk town there. That's what we call them.
And we live so it's
okay.
We love it.
Okay. So real quickly, touching on the long arming, how long have you been doing long arming on a machine?
Counting the years that I was in Wichita using someone else's machine, 5 years.
Okay. So you're still kind of, you're not like a super seasoned on the long arming machine, super seasoned veteran in that. But no. From talking to you, I've discovered that you do have a lot of experience in business also. Tell us what you've been doing prior to the long arming.
I did alterations. I am one that loves to sew, and I pretty much would do any kind of sewing. So I started doing alterations when I was 19 years old and did them professionally for a business. And then we moved back to my hometown. My husband was in the military, so we were away from here for a while. And then I opened my own store and did more alterations. So,
all right, tell somebody like me, I don't even know what an alteration is. What is that? Like changing clothing?
It could be from sewing on a button to repairing a zipper, replacing a zipper, or totally remaking a wedding gown. I did everything in between. Prom was one of my favorite times of the year. I absolutely love to help girls with their prom dresses, and I wanted to fit and cover. That was my thing. So I really enjoyed that.
So all right, so we're going to tie it in with this long arming thing. So how long did you say you've been doing alterations?
Well, I had done them professionally for 30 years before I quit. Part of the reason I quit is we moved to Wichita, and it was hard. So my customers weren't all there, and then the pandemic hit, and it just made life really interesting. So, but before the pandemic hit, I had joined a place in Wichita that's called GoCreate, and they had different machines. They're actually on WSU campus, and I think it's was started by the Cook brothers or
What
Cook
is
brothers.
WSU?
That's our college,
Okay.
Wichita Shockers.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's got like 3D printing. They've got welders. They've got all the woods equipment you need, sew machines, screen printers, embroidery machines. But they had 2 Gamble quilt machines, and both of them were computerized. And so I could sign up and go in there and use their machines, and they would do a little bit of training on how to use them, which was very nice to have a mentor walk you through it. And so that's where I actually used my first Gamble and fell in love with quilting. And it's just a
Okay.
really awesome place to get started.
So this GoCreate group on the college campus, they introduce people to different types of I guess things that you can do. And one of them was, what was it, like textiles or something? Then they had quilting as part
Yes.
of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's basically set up for people that want to be entrepreneurs. They can help you make anything you want to make. So as long as you had the idea, they would show you how to use the machines to get it done.
Okay. Okay. Oh, and before I forget it, I want to tell the people watching, if anybody would like to ask a question of Tracy during the podcast, you can click on I think it's a little Q&A button at the bottom of your screen, and you can type in a question there. And I will try to have the presence of mind to keep an eye and see if that little dot turns red down there. So if I see one, I will ask her for you. So, all right. So the alterations for 30 years, and with the move and pandemic and everything, you kind of got out of that.
Yes.
And now let me ask you, since a lot of the people that we're talking to are very interested in business and how to run a business and stuff like that, did you gain any significant business experience while you're doing the alteration business?
Well, I would say yes, because I did it out of my home for many years while raising my kids. But then when I opened up a storefront, I actually went to our local town, had an economic development person, and that person helped me some on the things that I didn't have a clue, because I'm sort of the type of person that just, when I want to do something, I'm going to do it. I sort of wing it and make it done. But there's all the legal stuff and taxes that you've got to worry about, and they helped me walk through that and find a great CPA, and so that I didn't have to worry about how to do all that. They helped me through that. So
Okay.
it's great having a home-based business, though. It's better to have a home-based business than a storefront, because different tax reasons, it's a benefit.
Okay.
Less
And
over.
talking to the people on this program, there's different schools of thought with that. Some people love the working out of their home with the freedom and independence that gives. Some people like having a separate place where they go to the storefront. But so all right, I just want to get a clear picture of when you got into the long arming. Were you first exposed at the GoCreate place at the college to the Gamble, or have you seen them before that?
I had not seen them. I have made many a quilts, but I've taken them to a quilter and had them quilt it, but I had never experienced a quilt until then. I've always had a desire to want one and learn that, because I love anything sewing and anything fabric. But that place gave me the opportunity to actually try one out and fall in love with it.
And the GoCreate, the machines they had was exclusively Gamble machines. Is that right?
Right. Yes,
Okay,
they were.
that's good to know. A shout out to them. Okay, so you let me just get the timeline. You went from the alterations, and how long have you actually been doing this quilting as a business?
Just 1 year.
Okay.
because I lived in Wichita and used them at GoCreate. I just quilted my own quilts. The pandemic happened and I was home a lot. So I think I made like 14 quilt tops. So when they opened GoCreate back up, I had lots of quilt tops. And I had also designed my own makeup bag because I teach skincare classes also. And I wanted a makeup bag that was machine washable and that would stand up on its own and would be fun fabric. So I designed a makeup bag and quilted it. This is what it looks like.
I was gonna say, if you have one of those, show it to us.
This
So
is a small one,
you
and this is the
designed
bigger.
that.
And so I quilt the fabric before I make it. And so I did all that at GoCreate. And then we moved away, and I wasn't going to go back to GoCreate because we're an hour and a half from there. So that's when I started looking into, oh, I need my own machine. And I thought, oh, I'm going to wait. It's one of those things that I'll do later in life. I'll do it later. And my husband kept saying, just get one, just get one. He was just really encouraging it. And my son said to me, why wait until you're too old? And I thought, sometimes you just do that in life. You wait until you wait until the timing's right. And, we may not ever get that chance. So I was like, okay, let's do it.
Okay. And but where'd you get your long arm? Did you get it from Gamble or from an individual or what?
I found an individual that was wanting to sell hers, and I
Okay.
bought it from her.
Okay. And now when you got your Gamble, first of all, what kind of Gamble do you have?
It's a classic, but it's been upgraded to have a regulated stitch.
Okay, I see it behind you. That you have a Vision 1. That's right. Okay.
Yes.
And when you got your Gamble, your classic Vision 1 Gamble, did you get it specifically for the purpose of running a business, or what was the story with that?
Well, I was already making and selling these. So yeah,
Okay.
I needed something to quilt more fabric. And I have a desire to quilt quilts, and I'm doing that now as a business too. So
You have creativity in your blood, don't you?
God has made me this way. I don't sit still very well. I like to constantly be doing something. So
Yeah. I'm picking up on that creative vibe. Creative people, and we have a lot of them that work at Gamble. Creative people tend to have their own, oh, how do I say it? Just their own weirdness about them, which is a good thing in a good way. So
yeah,
okay.
I also do applique. So I do a lot of applique on
Okay.
sweatshirts, and that's been part of my business too. So
Okay.
I never use a pattern. Everything is my own pattern. So
Everything's your own pattern?
on my applique, yes.
Oh, okay. So do you do pantographs or anything with your quilting?
Yes, I do. Right now, I've got quite a few of those, and I really enjoy doing those. But my goal is to do custom quilting, and I'm already signed up with your guys's
Quilting,
that class.
yeah, quilting with confidence.
Yes, that class. I've signed up for that class, so I'm excited to do that
Are you
because
going to the one in Oklahoma?
yes,
Where is that? Wichita? They're having that one?
no,
Or
Shawnee,
Tulsa?
Oklahoma.
Sean, okay. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
so many of them, I forget. Yeah, that is really taken off this year. That is huge. So I'm glad to hear you're going to that. And do you think do you think there's any computerized quilting in the future for you, or you think you're going to stick with hand guided?
I don't know. I do like the fact that the computerized, that you can program in it and just sort of, so if I ever get a second machine, it would be nice to have one computerized just going while I'm custom quilting another one. I don't know if I'll ever have to, but
Gotcha. Yeah, you might surprise yourself. there's several customers that I talk to on a regular basis that have 4 and 5 in their home. So yeah, I guess they have big homes, but
Yeah, I'm going to say, I don't think I have room for, I'm not even sure if I have room for two. And my husband built me this room just for this. So I'm pretty
well,
lucky.
and a lot of times when I talk to people, hand guided versus computerized, sometimes in one sense, there's two separate schools of thought, you know. I'm never going to do computerized because, you know, art. But on the other hand, you can, with the computerized, you can produce so much, you can put out a lot more volume if your customer base starts increasing. And I would say the largest percentage of people that I talk to end up doing both. They'll do half or part, you know, hand guided and part computerized. So anyway, I would just encourage you keep an open mind with that and just
Yeah,
see what God brings across your path there.
that's right.
So at this point in your life, do you have another job too, or are you focusing on, is this all what you're doing right now?
I do have a couple of other jobs. I work part-time in the insurance office and I do love that. And then I also I teach skincare classes. I'm a consultant with Mary Kay and I love doing that. So,
Okay, you are just all over the place, aren't you?
but I have two grandbabies now. So they are sort of priority. And I think a quilt machine will keep me at home more
Yes.
and more time with them. I've been known to quilt a quilt with a baby on the hip. So my grandbabies don't mind it.
And I've heard that from so many people on this program. They got grandbabies and they just, you know, they love having the machine there at home so they can work when they get to a place where they want to stop and spend time with the grandbabies. They do that too.
Yes.
As far as your time, your schedule with quilting, how many hours a week would you say that you spend on doing that?
Oh, goodness. Every spare moment that I get.
Really?
Well, I mean, I'm doing other things. So I don't know if I've ever actually looked at the clock and said, okay, this is how much time I'm going to dedicate to that. I do
Like on an
work.
average day, what do you think?
Oh, well, if I'm having a really fun day, I'm out here all day.
Okay.
But um, it didn't take me that long to do a quilt. So I'm not for sure. I'm going to have to start paying attention to the clock and see how long it takes me. I do work in an insurance office 2 days a week. So, and then if I have grandbabies here, you know, we're going to play at the same time. So,
Okay. Customer wise, do you have a lot of quilting customers right now, or tell us a little bit about that?
oh, I would say it's growing. I'm really thinking about maybe even teaching some sewing classes to get more people into sewing locally. Um, I I have a huge customer base from alterations and from Mary Kay both. So I've gotten some customers from that. I started doing quilts just for my family because I've got several family members that quilt. And so I gave them a discount saying, hey, this is your guys are going to be my sample quilts or guinea pigs, you know, let me. So
Okay.
it's
So
been fun.
you've had some bleed over from your other businesses and other things you've done.
Yeah,
Okay. Are you involved in any like local quilt guilds or anything like that?
I am not. Well, I should. There is a fabric store in Severy, and I go to their needle club. Um, but it's actually like a quilt club, I think. There they have once a month, and but there's other quilters there, so I'm not sure if I would get businesses from that. So
Do you, when you come in contact with other quilters, do you, it's good to get your viewpoint from kind of somebody that's early in the quilting business. Do you look at them as competitors or resources? What's your feel about that?
um, I'm not competing with anybody. I mean, I mean, the ones that I want to ask questions, like one lady that has done a lot of my quilts, I was a little nervous to even tell her, hey, I'm gonna get a gamble. But I did tell her, and she was very encouraging. And then the first time I seen her after I got my machine, she brought me a sack of thread and said, here's some threads. So it's been a blessing.
Okay, awesome. Um, so you say you feel like your customer base is probably in the growing phase. Have you reached out, or have you done any advertising? What's that part looking like?
Um, I do have a social media. I'm on Facebook and on Instagram. So I've just started where I've just started posting pictures of what I'm doing to get the word out. I have set up at a couple craft shows and just had some, baby blankets to show people what I've done. So I did take my business cards to one fabric store, and it's only because a customer brought me a quilt and said they didn't have any of your cards, but they gave us your name. So I was like, oh, so I got some cards there.
Okay. And once again, you're in a rather rural area, is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah,
So I think word of mouth is the best. Best advertisement is word of mouth.
well, and I think probably every person I've talked to on this podcast says that exact same thing, word of mouth. And don't let me forget at the end, but before we go off, I'll have you share your how people can find you on Facebook and what would you say, Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, don't let me forget about that. Okay. Do you charge by the hour? Or do you charge by the square inch with quilts?
That has been an interesting thing to figure out. So what I did is I called in my area all the ones that I knew that did quilting for people and different stores that recommend, and just ask prices. So most of them all charge by the inch. And so that's what I do, is charge by the inch.
Okay. Can you share with us what you charge by the inch?
A penny and a half.
Okay.
So that seemed to be the going rate in our area. I know other places are closer to 2 cents. I know.
So
Talking
that's
to
based on your own informal research, you think that's close to what it is in your area.
Yes. And some of them charge for thread. And right now I just tell people I'm not charging for thread. I want to get plenty of quilts under my belt and make sure I'm doing an awesome job. And then someday I may start charging for thread, because I know a lot of them charge so much per bobbin they fill, like $2. So I think that seems to be the going rate here.
Okay. And if you haven't had a chance, I would encourage you to watch as many of these podcasts as you can, because that very stuff you're talking about, there's a lot of good. Some people say they want to talk to more people they want us to interview more people who maybe don't have, or maybe a little earlier in the process, kind of like you are. But also there's a lot to be said for somebody that has a lot of experience in this particular field, and as far as the pricing and their experience on, how you should start out with your pricing and everything. So I would encourage you and the people watching to, just watch the other podcast too. And, you might get your own takeaway from that.
I will do that.
And do you sell any supplies like batting or fabrics or anything like that with your?
I don't have, I have some backing that if anybody likes what I've picked out for myself, I would sell it to them. I do carry batting because in our area, there's no place to buy batting. And people, when they bring you a quilt top and they want it done pretty quickly, you better just have batting on hand. So
Gotcha.
I do have batting.
Gotcha. How many quilts have you made since you started, like actually made yourself? Would you say?
I have not counted.
Okay.
I probably track. I've made lots, and I gave all my kids one this year for Christmas.
Okay.
So I've made a lot.
how many, all right, let me ask you this. How many quilts do you think that you, like if you really had to crank out a bunch of quilts, how many quilts could you crank out in a month? Just off the top of your head.
Well, right now I'm working on 8 for a lady that they're memory quilts out of her husband's clothes. And I don't know, I made 14 quilt tops, I know, in those few months that we were shut down. So
yeah. And that's a whole different part of the process, is making those quilt tops, isn't it?
yes, but I do love it. So I make a lot of t-shirt quilts, memory quilts, regular quilts.
Okay, so you do a lot of the t-shirt quilts, huh?
I do.
You do know that there's a lot of people watching this that absolutely, with a passion, hate doing t-shirt quilts.
I know that there's a lady in a town close to me that I was told that she will not quilt a t-shirt quilt. And so I have taken them on for other people, not just the ones I've made, because I want to be able to do everything. Not, I don't want to, no, I can't do that. I want to do it all. So the t-shirt quilts are a little tricky because not everybody gets that interfacing attached to the t-shirt, and the t-shirts do want to move a little bit. But my suggestion is just don't do a heavy quilting or a detailed quilting. I sort of have one pattern that I really like that sort of meanders everywhere.
Works and good for the t-shirt.
It works very good for t-shirts. So
okay, so you're saying I picked up a little piece of advice there with t-shirt quilting. You'd recommend not using a real dense pattern. Is that right?
Yes, because I think that's where people end up having their t-shirts pucker or want to move. I mean, of course, the designs that have all the feathers or the flowers, or the basketball or the football may look great with the quilt, but I think the results would be harder to get unless someone's just really good at getting that interfacing the stick. But in making t-shirt quilts, I think my best advice for people is when they bring you the t-shirts, wash them all, and don't use softener, because softener keeps the interfacing from sticking good. And I think that's part of the issue. Everybody uses softener anymore, and you do not want to use that with a t-shirt quilt.
Okay, good piece of advice. Good advice. I have not heard that one before. Of course, I don't quilt myself. I just help people if something is not going right. I help them to fix things. So, yeah, thank you for that. All right. So, Tracy, let me ask you, and you can give us your experience and information based on your current quilting business that you're working on, and also the business experience you've had in the past. Can you think of what are some of the hard aspects of growing a business, or things that you may be experiencing now or that you have experienced in the past that you can share with the people watching?
Oh, well, let's see.
Any difficulties that you've encountered?
Just having exactly what, I had one person bring me a customer bring me a quilt, and she wanted a design I didn't have and a color of thread. And, of course, there's nowhere locally I can get that. So I just said, okay, because I like to get people's quilts done pretty quickly and back to them pretty quickly. So I just said, if you don't mind waiting, and she didn't. So I had to purchase, those, which was no big deal because I didn't mind growing that part of my business. I had never quilted the design that she called it a feathery design, and now it's one of my favorite designs. I would highly recommend it. So I was glad that she challenged me in that area. So
okay. How big of an aspect is people in your life? You have anybody in particular that's been a real cheerleader for you, or what about that, the people in your life?
Oh, my family has always been supportive on whatever I've done. But my husband's probably my biggest cheerleader. He really encourages me to do this. And when we go
So
into it,
is he like totally behind you with this quilting thing?
he's my biggest supporter no matter what I do. So now he did want me to move the business out of my house when I did alterations. He was just like, okay, I'm sort of done with it being in my house. And that's when we opened a storefront. So
Is it because you had like clothes everywhere all over the place?
um sort of, yeah. And the bedrooms all became dressing rooms during prom season.
Mm, I can see that. I can see that. Gotcha.
You know, yeah.
But now you're so with your gamel, you're based in your house now, is that correct?
No, my
Yep.
husband actually built himself a shop. And
Okay.
then we decided, um, we were talking about the gamel, but the gamel really wouldn't fit in the house that we have now because we really downsized. So he built me a room inside of his shop. And my room's
Okay.
got central heat and air, so it's really nice.
Is that on the same property as your house or?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, okay. So it's still, yeah, it's kind of like being at home. It's
Oh
almost
yeah, definitely at home.
okay.
I can
Okay,
do laundry and fix supper and everything. I run back and forth, no problem.
excellent. So, realistically, do you see your business growing as time goes on? Do you see that in the future, or what? Where are you at with that? I mean, do you want it to just stay like it is right now, or tell us
Oh
about
no,
that?
I definitely think it's going to be growing. More of the word gets out, and the more people that see, the love for quilting, I think it'll definitely grow. I would love to be able to stay home more and just do quilting. So I've been a crafter at Silver Dollar City and sold like my makeup bags and the sweatshirts. So I haven't done it the last 2 years. I absolutely love doing that. So we'll see where this takes me. But it's nice to just be able to stay home and not do as many shows selling stuff. So
Okay.
that's
Silver
sort
Dollar
of,
City in Branson you're referring
yeah,
to?
yes.
Okay, okay. That's
Yeah.
close to my neck of the woods here. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Have you ever been out there for the Harvest Festival when they have all the crafters that actually sit there and demonstrate?
Yes, 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 I have. I have seen that.
Okay.
We have season passes there. Me and my wife and my son, we go there a few times a year. It's
Okay.
just
Do you have connections to get me a gamble machine there to use while I'm there and demonstrate on it?
to get you a gamble machine to use while
Yes.
you're at Silver Dollar City.
Yeah.
Let me write that down. Let me see. I don't know. I can't promise anything, but I will talk to the people who are above me and see what can be done there. When do you go there? When is that going to be?
It's in October. I'm not going this year. I didn't go last year because my daughter was having a baby. And I didn't go. I'm not going this year just because of grandbabies. But
No. Well,
um,
you're not going to be there for a long time then.
oh, well, it's every fall. So I could definitely show up if you guys could make it happen next fall. And I'd be like, okay,
Like this coming October you're talking about.
I don't have enough stuff.
Okay, okay, I got
Stuff
you.
now. So I haven't been working on that because the machines, I've only had it for a year and I have grandbabies. So
Okay. We're just getting into our own personal conversation. Hold on.
okay. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, Angie is saying she loves that idea of running the gamble machine at Silver Dollar City. So,
Yay.
okay. All right, let's get wrapped up here. You're fun to talk to, so I appreciate you joining us. Let's see. Do you have anything, Tracy, at this point in your process of your quilting business or from the past that you think might be valuable that you wish somebody would have told you at the beginning of your business when you first started? Can you think of anything that maybe you wish you would have known when you
I
first
probably
started?
wouldn't have waited so long to buy one if I would have,
Okay.
known in my earlier years, of alterations. I mean, I really enjoyed doing alterations and making prom dresses fit and all that. I enjoyed that. But there's part of this that you can just be so creative with. And yeah, it'd been interesting if I would have did this too, or done this sooner or something. But don't wait,
So
go buy one. Get busy.
get on it, huh? Yeah.
Yes.
Um, so, um, based on your experience, somebody that's watching right now, do you see, and I know you've only had the gamble, you've only been doing it as a business for a limited amount of time, but based on your true honest feelings and what you see now, do you think that someone who wants to genuinely build a business with a Gamble long arm machine, do you think that it's possible to do right now, or what are your feelings about that? Is it something that can be done, you think?
Yes, I do. I was just talking to my husband the other night. If I could do so many quilts a week, how much, extra that would help out on different things that we're wanting to do where we've moved. So it's just the process of getting that clientele built up. And then, I mean, I've had my machine for a year, but we actually I probably not been running it for a year because we built the building and had to get it up, in the building and set up and, figure out a few things. So I would say I don't even have a year under my belt of doing it business wise. So I look forward to being able to say, yes, I'm going to do so many quilts a week. Right now, people are not having to wait. It's like when they bring me a quilt, they can get it back in a few days. So,
How long does it take you on average, you think, to do a quilt?
oh goodness. A lot of times I will load it one night and then I'll finish it the next day. So, I am a busy person. I'm probably making a makeup bag and making supper and doing laundry and watching a grandkid and quilting. So I don't know if you should take my hours and say it's how long it takes because
Gotcha.
it can go pretty fast. So
Gotcha. And I've heard that somebody, if somebody were to purchase a brand new Statler, I think they could make the payments on it. I think the figure I've heard is 6 quilts a month. You'd be able to pay your payments on that. Just FYI for those of you who are watching.
wow. See, I
Um,
think I probably wouldn't have waited so long.
yeah.
There was a chance I was not even going to do it. It was, my husband and my kid and their comments. I was just like, okay, fine, let's do this.
Well, Tracy, yeah, when you go to the Quilting with Confidence, I encourage you to talk to some of the computerized quilters, and I got a feeling that you might get that bug too, because you really enjoy the hand guided, because it seems like more pure art, but I think that you would also love the computerized also. So just
Oh,
keep that in your mind. I'm
is
not
there a
trying.
limit on the social hour that they said that we get to play? And I may
Yeah,
keep them
yeah,
on.
yeah. You have you not ever been to a Quilting with Confidence before?
I have not. And I actually seen the ad on Facebook. And at first I wasn't sure if it was real. And then I was like,
Oh,
okay, check into this. And then it's actually on your website. So I was like, oh my gosh, when I found out it was the company itself putting it on, I was like, oh, I've got to.
yeah, you will freaking love it. You really will. So
Okay.
yeah, I enjoy that. And those of you who are watching this podcast, I encourage you to look up Quilting with Confidence on the gamble.com website, because I mean it's all over the United
It
States
is.
in different locations. So you can find one that's near you, all over the world actually. We got them in Australia and England. Anyway, okay, Tracy, did I miss anything? Anything you wanted to share that I didn't ask
Oh
you?
goodness.
I mean, yeah, I don't even want to put you on the spot. I just want to make sure I didn't you didn't have something burning in your heart about the gamble that you needed to share before I got to the end of it.
It's
No?
pretty simple to use. I have really enjoyed using it, even though they showed me at GoCreate. Me and my husband took this machine apart and set it back up ourselves, and I've been sewing ever since. So it,
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, yeah, people in your area, go check out GoCreate. What's the name of that college again? The university?
WSU, Wichita Shockers. It's WSU.
WSU. Okay, yeah. Go check out GoCreate if you want to see one of these gamble machines, you can check them out over there. Okay, Tracy, thank you. It actually has been inspiring talking to you. It's been very entertaining and inspiring.
Good.
Yeah, I want to give you a chance, Tracy, to tell people where they can find you and find out more about you. Put out your information right here.
Okay. When I had a storefront, it's called Tracy's Trends. So I had already applied for that tax number. So I kept it for my alterations even after I closed my store. So it's called Tracy's Trends, and that's what I am on social media. And it's TRACI apostrophe S. Then Trends is TRENDS. So I am on Facebook and on Instagram. So yeah, I'd love you follow me and share me. And I even for people that are quilters, I have other things besides quilting. I love my makeup bags. So
And can people go on to the Facebook or the Instagram and like if they wanted to ask you a question or anything about
yeah,
they saw on here tonight?
yes, they sure can.
Okay, great. So Tracy's Trends, they can find you on Facebook and Instagram. Tracy, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's been fun.
It's been
And
very
I
enjoyable.
look forward to hearing from you about Silver Dollar City.
Yes. Hey, you can call us here anytime at Gamble and just check on me or all of us. And
Okay.
yeah, so I'll pass that on to my higher ups about that Silver Dollar City thing, and we'll see what becomes of that. Okay.
Okay, that would be great. I would love it.
All right, Tracy. Well, listen, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Great to meet you. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
well, I guess we got another episode in the bag, and we'll see you 1 week from today at this same time. Good night,
No.
everybody.